Hey people, check out this gorgeous scenery. Alright, here's my video. I don't know if everyone will gain something out of this, I hope they do. It's primarily written as a guide for the FFB male in the Jewish community who may feel lost because of his confirmed homosexual orientation, which is not a rare circumstance. This is defined as somebody who has never experienced any attraction to women emotionally and sexually. Please forgive me if I offend or wrongly convey my message in any way, and feel free to comment on anything you like. Is there a contradiction to your sexuality and Judaism? No. If you think that I'm just being frum when I say Hashem, I think you already know deep down that God isn't some concept floating in the clouds. God is as grounded as you can get. We may not understand with our limited human intellect, but we can know him through life. If you believe that life on this planet ends in the grave, I'm sorry to say, but you're in for a very depressing existence. Once you know that physical reality and Torah are one, you get dealt a new set of cards. All the letters of Torah are part of your life. Torah is life itself. Whether you believe in God at this point of your life or not, Torah's methodology still works. It's every Jewish soul's guide to living in a human body in a human world, regardless of any issues or obstacles one may encounter. Its steps are ultimately incredible beyond every imaginable sense. Giving this up in favor of your ego is spiritual suicide. Just because you're not attracted to women, it's not logical to abandon your duties. Hashem fully accepts you the way you are. After all, who do you think gave you this challenge? Judaism is a relationship with the Creator, and it certainly is not all or nothing. As long as you're serving Him with all your heart and soul, He expects nothing more. Perfection is not within anybody's reach, and it's not demanded of us. If you do your best, maximizing mitzvahs, connection, and minimizing Aveira's disconnection, while learning how to fall, and consistently bouncing back with a sense of joy, your life will be thriving. It's essential to understand that it is not forbidden to be attracted to members of one's own sex. The word taiva refers to the act, but the individual is deeply loved. I definitely understand if you feel alienated from God because of the appearance of the verse in Leviticus, but it's not as it seems. There is so much to say on the Talmud's interpretation of the verse, which can't be expounded now in its length, but you will find that it actually is positive. Hashem wants you very close to Him indeed. I personally like to think that Hashem's reason for applying so much harshness to the word taiva is because it acts as a big red is because it acts as a big red stop sign, warning us not to follow a particular spiritually damaging path and instead walk towards Him. I truly believe every individual will find his unique answers if he wants to decodify the Torah's encryption. Its power isn't free though, but diamonds are found only after much chiseling. Rabbi Akiva looked at droplets of water that dented a stone and applied that to his life at the age of 40 to become one of the greatest sages of all time. Ask yourself, what does it really mean to be gay? Thanks to the gay activists, homosexual orientation is commonly associated with a highly promiscuous lifestyle. It's beautiful that LGBT+ community want to celebrate their creativity and uniqueness, but when pride parades and gay scenes encourage unhealthy and immoral sexual liberty, it poisons the main purpose of its community. In my experience, a lot of people picture the label as an act of sex between two men. For the confirmed homosexual man, sexuality means something different. It's not simply sexual attraction, that's merely one small side of it. It's our emotional makeup, our personality. This may also be why, through no fault of their own, some heterosexual people don't understand why a homosexual person would want to come out. They may think it's strange to want to shout out to the world that they like the same gender. But really, what the homosexual person is saying is, I want to express my authentic emotions and no longer choose to suppress my personality. The sexual part is irrelevant to what I'm telling you. Having a homosexual orientation, in its pure sense, means you have double the love. It simply means you have a special sensitivity which contributes to your underlying nature and emotional infrastructure. It is not who you are, we are what we build our neshamas into. If you are struggling, it gets better by the way, but if you let it become your identity, you'll eventually have an identity crisis. The label gay is a meaningless, empty label. Basically, it means nothing at all. If you insist on using a label, then use K. I'm not being serious here, by the way, but be proud, but do it in line with the spirit of Torah. Permission to use this label only if you keep kosher, Shabbos, and tefillin. K is for kosher, obviously. Okay, so what do? What to do about the formidable challenge? I personally am not closed off to the idea that anything can change, and possibly one day I will be able to marry a woman and have children. Who knows? For now, though, I accept the things I cannot change and change the things I can. Our aim becomes how to do the very best with what we've been given. If this rings bells of truth with you, then we're dealing with the fact that we only get attracted to the same gender emotionally as well as sexually. If there's one thing I know, it's that mental health comes first, and fighting reality as it is deeply damaging. So embracing the sexual part of your sexuality while being an Evet Hashem becomes a balance. It's crucial to make peace with what Hashem has deemed and not force it out of your head like it's something you're ashamed of or hate, while at the same time not entertaining it either. It is requested of us to try our best to stay pure. We read in the Torah, "You shall not explore after your heart and after your eyes, after which you stray." So yes, naturally you stray, but you have a choice to explore or not. Focusing on total celibacy straight away is enough to scare anyone away, but if the total desire is there to devote yourself to Hashem, then it is acceptable to encourage a measured, slow, but ultimately more assured approach to spiritual growth. That is why it's so important to set the boundary of no intercourse, the most destructive force, and then slowly work your way into higher spiritual strength. As you begin to learn to control your human drives for Hashem, you channel that energy in His direction and you feel Hashem by your side. It doesn't get more real than being in a relationship with the Master of the universe. God has given you the most precious gift, and one day, please God, you will see that you wouldn't change it for the world. Use it to your advantage. Of course, all of this comes with its difficulties, just like with anything, but other people face different challenges in the same proportion. If you are sexually active, no judgment obviously, but it's a million times better to try not to be. It should only ever be safe and loving. If you allow yourself to be led astray into the darkness of unhealthy lust that's typical in society's gaze scenes, you will eventually let go of Torah completely, as with most unfortunate cases. As Rabbi Nachman teaches, don't beat yourself up when, not if, you have a setback. That's precisely what the Yetzer Hara wants. He doesn't care about your initial mistake, only the post to the feeling of guilt which leads to a downward spiral. It's precisely at that moment, after having slipped up, after having tried your best, that you have got to force happiness and inject colour into your life, even if it means acting silly. Using this tool is your weapon against despair, and with this positively charged stubbornness, you will merit that all your downfalls will turn into uplifts. For my next video, I would like to address the halachas of marriage for the confirmed homosexual person, and it's actually quite incredible because Rabbi Rappaport speaks about it, and what can I say, he's literally got all the answers, and he's amazing. So anyway, I appreciate taking your time. If you've watched this, hopefully, yeah, look at this scenery. Alright, peace and love.